we're all excited to pass policy, right? Another side of it is educating people, right? Letting people know these plants exist. Subverting authority to use their megaphone to say, hey, community, there's these plants and mushrooms that exist that can be really good for mental health, for personal and spiritual growth, for the sacred, for community-based practices, all these things that maybe they'd have no idea before. And a lot of people out there will bend the law in order to engage in these practices, but a lot of people won't. So now we change these policies and they can start thinking about it like, oh wait, maybe I can engage in this practice. I won't get arrested. I won't have to worry about the stigma of jobs or these other types of things. So to see this sort of movement happening, you know, the policy side is one thing, and that's great. If we can pass policy, that's fantastic. But right now we're in a destigmatizing campaign or a de-misinformation campaign of 50 to 70 years, or even longer if you want to talk about with the colonizers coming in Spain and all that kind of thing and destroyed Mexico and Maztecs, and people, the only way they survived was to kind of hide out in these places. Or if you're talking about even in Europe where, you know, religion came through and wiped out all these ancient traditions too of plant and mushroom traditions. That's probably the longest traditions that have been wiped out. Right? We talk a lot about ayahuasca because that's the most familiar of them, but ayahuasca is a modulation of DMT and MAOI. And there's about 4,000 different plant combinations out there that can create something similar to ayahuasca. You have the Rig Veda, book 9 of the Rig Veda, which is from the Vedic text. They talk about soma. You know, so this ancient, nobody knows what it is, but this ancient plant concoction that was the nectar of the gods that helped us see these spiritual places. So all across the planet, we've had engaged in these practices, and then something happened, and I don't know what happened. Why? What happened there? What was the control element that allowed this sort of stifling of this conversation? Again, this agency over consciousness. No, I want to be the middle person between you and God. You can have access to divine yourself. You can't eat something that's going to make you realize that you're also divine, because that ruins my power. So somewhere along the way, this shift happened in the world, you know? And so what we're really trying to do is to undo that. And so part of that conversation we're having is not just policy, but also destigmatizing and reinvigorating people's understanding of their own consciousness about our relationship with nature and about how these plants and mushrooms can help us with that conversation.